Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. A sixth woman has accused New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo of sexual harassment and inappropriate behaviour. The aide has accused the governor of inappropriately touching her late last year in the executive mansion in Albany. The accusation comes as Mr. Cuomo, a third-term Democrat, faces calls for his resignation, including from the Democratic leader of the state Senate.
I never touched anyone inappropriately.
The governor has so far denied all the allegations and has said he would not immediately step down. The New York Attorney General is currently investigating his conduct. An official from deposed Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy party has died in custody after he was arrested on Tuesday. He is the second party figure to die in detention in almost as many days. Meanwhile, security forces have been cracking down with increasing force on the daily nationwide protests. People can be seen jumping over barricades and scrambling to take shelter after shots were fired. Reports have also emerged that according to police rules, protesters should either be stopped by rubber bullets or shot below the knees. Security forces have been accused of killing more than 50 people in the protests so far. It's been reported that Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, formally complained after a presenter on ITV's Good Morning Britain claimed he didn't believe a word of her highly controversial interview.
I'm sickened by what I've just had to watch.
Ofcom is investigating comments made by Piers after receiving 41,000 complaints. The presenter has since quit the show after facing a huge backlash. Over 28 million people around the world have now watched the interview between Meghan and Harry and Oprah Winfrey. In a statement, Buckingham Palace have said the race issues raised by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in their interview were concerning and taken very seriously. Health systems in most of Brazil's largest cities are close to collapse due to the overwhelming amount of COVID-19 cases. The country has registered a record daily COVID-19 deaths as more than 80% of intensive care unit beds are occupied in the capitals of 25 of Brazil's 27 states. The country has recorded more than 266,000 deaths and 11 million cases since the pandemic began. Meanwhile, the vaccination campaign is progressing slowly, as only 4.1% of the population has received the jab. Heavy rains have breached a dam on the Hawaiian island of Maui, causing floods that have damaged multiple homes and bridges. The governor has declared a state of emergency after the heavy rains and flooding caused extensive damage to a vast number of properties. Authorities have also ordered the evacuation of several thousand people from communities threatened by rising waters. Youths have clashed with police in Greece at a protest in Athens against police brutality. More than 5,000 people have marched in the capital after a video on social media showed a police officer beating a young man with a baton. Riot police fired tear gas to disperse a group of protesters that broke away from the march and hurled petrol bombs, firecrackers and rocks at officers. The protesters have also set rubbish bins on fire in the streets. Spain has sent an aid plane to Equatorial Guinea as the search for victims of a series of explosions continues for a fourth day. The flight is carrying medicines and medical supplies as the Spanish government is responding to a call for international support from President Teodoro Obiang Nguema, who can be seen at the scene of a deadly blast at a military barracks in the city of Bata that left 98 people dead. Satellite images show the extent of damage as the explosions have destroyed almost all homes and buildings in Bata. Europe's tallest active volcano, Italy's Mount Etna, has lit up the night sky once again. The southeastern crater is at the epicenter of the activity that started on February the 16th and has caused activity for the volcano 11 times in the past 3 weeks. Images show explosions, large plumes of smoke and lava fountains several kilometers high. The last major eruption of Mount Etna was in 1992. And finally, climate activists from Greenpeace have landed a paraglider on top of the European Central Bank's press centre and hung a banner accusing the bank of funding polluters. The two activists can be seen landing at the ECB building in Frankfurt and unfolding a banner saying, "Stop funding climate killers." The protest followed a think tank report which argued that the ECB's lending rules favoured carbon-intensive industries and perpetuated a market failure to properly price polluting assets. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel studios in Lagos.